We on Nashville Israelites.
Yeah, it just went up.
Okay.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, before I begin this lesson, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Wadash. Have honors go out to our apostles, elders of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well. Shalom, well, Barakim to you, brothers and sisters out there. Right, title of this lesson, I changed the title. It's Don't Lose Sight of What This Is Really About. Basically, it's just something that was being meditated on earlier in the day about how, when you first came in, the reason you came in and what kept you so fiery was you wanted to be saved. You didn't want to be destroyed. You didn't want to taste of the second death. And you notice that, as you're around different men and stuff like that, and they start to grow in the spirit, certain men start to stray away from that. And they forget the reason as to why they're here to begin with. And they start thinking it's about making their own, doing their own thing and getting that going. Just like they just kind of make it about them. Or they think it's about knowing the most precepts. It's at the end of the day, it's just about playing your role and getting saved. We're just trying to avoid the nuclear destruction. I mean, that's it. We're trying to please the Lord, fulfill the whole duty of man. Which we can really start with that. I'll go ahead and pull it up. Because I there's times where I stray away from that. I forget, it's just we're just here because we're trying to be saved and getting the good grace of the Lord. I start thinking it's about gaining all this knowledge and being a brainiac, and it's not about that. It's never been about that. You're gonna gain knowledge as you grow, but just make sure that you always keep the things that are most important in the forefront, man. And that's ultimately, being humble, exalting Yahweh Shemel Shai, acknowledging them in everything you do, and just being a brother. All right, so Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." This is the whole reason as to why brother and myself and everybody else, that's in this ministry was created, which is to serve the Lord. This is literally the essence of our creation. This is what we're here for. So anything outside of that is just extra.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, I got a precept. This is 1 Corinthians 9 and verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in the race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. And that's what we're doing, man. We're running in this race. We're all going to the same destination, and we want to make sure that as we're running, that we're not steering to the left nor to the right, but remaining focused, remaining diligent, staying calm, cool, and collected, so that we can receive that prize, man. And verse 25, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. And I want to get that definition for temperate. And it says relating or denote, not that one. It says showing moderation or self-restraint, disciplined, controlled, restrained. So as we're running in this race, man, we want to make sure that we're keep having that right spirit on us. Remaining disciplined, remaining controlled, and not going off the wall, man. Being prideful, entertaining fleshly lust, and so on and so forth. We got to be controlled and disciplined while we're running in this race. When you're running in a race, man, you're not going to go 100% of the way, or you're not going to give 100% the whole way, and you're not going to give 10%, the whole time. There's a balance to everything, and at the same time, when if you're running on a track, you're not going to run as you're running the track. You're not going to try to, trip somebody, or you're not going to try to, cut. Where's the shortcut to where I can, get ahead of everybody else. You know, trying to be ahead of everybody else. Just run the race, man, and the Lord is going to, and the Lord is going to guide you to the end. And it says, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. Everybody else, man, like these athletes, rappers, they're getting themselves right in a worldly sense so that they can obtain something that is going to corrupt, something that is going to decay. But we're running this race, man, so that we can obtain something that is incorruptible, something that is everlasting, eternal. And that's what we're running for. And as we run, we just got to remain focused on what the goal is and where we're headed. You got it.
I got this Matthew 11:28-30, and this is in red. It means it's the words of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach. This verse 28 says, "Come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So especially, Apostle Gabar, hear him talk about it, consistently, constantly, all the time, about the simplicity in Yahushua and how simple this truth is. And that's where certain guys really, they just fall away because they overcomplicate it.
Right.
They make it, not to say make it bigger than what it is, because this is the biggest thing there is, but they just don't stick to the fundamentals. It's important to make sure you got your test passed down, important to make sure you can hit a layup, but then you got guys out here that they just came off the bench and they trying to shoot from the logo. It's not going to work like that. It's not about that either. It's about winning the game.
Right.
So however you can support the team to help, win those games, that's it. Because at the end of the day, everybody on the team is going to get that ring. But if you continue to go out there and you try to play a certain role that ain't you, you're a 7 foot tall center trying to play point guard. Well, you're going to get benched and possibly even cut from the team, and you're not going to get a ring.
Right.
Well, what's more important, your ego or your ring? But in this case,
I got a precept for you. Before you get yours real quick, you can break it down as well. Romans 12 and verse, let's see. I'll start at verse 5. And, just getting what you were going into about Apostle Gabar always saying, the simplicity. Romans 12 and 5. So we, being many, are one body in Hamashiach, and every one members one of another, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith, or ministry. And that's what also, man, people like you were just going into earlier, man, they trying to, have the most breakdowns, the best precept package. But, we just got to do, what the Lord has given unto us, man. Don't search out anything, that is too high for thee. We just got to remain humble, man. So it says, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith, or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation, he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence, he that showeth mercy with cheerfulness.
All right, so spoke on everyone, basically members of the body. You got other scriptures that talk about offices. It talks about how, I believe in Corinthians as well, one body part can't say to another, I don't need you.
Right.
So if you're an eyeball, you need to be seeing. That's your job. Over here trying to taste. It's not going to, first of all, that doesn't work. It's not going to work out, but then who's going to play your role? And that, because it's not about being the head of the camp. It's not about being an elder. It's not about, like the brother said, having the preset package. It's about, following in the footsteps of Yahweh Shai.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think too. Everybody's got to have a role in this thing, because if everybody's the head of the camp, the number one guy in terms of in the chain of command, then who's he going to be leading if everybody's that? And then
Right.
that's disorderly.
Mm-hmm.
It tells us in 1 Corinthians 14:40, let everything be done decently and in order.
Mm.
Everything's about that, and regardless of where you fall in that order, that doesn't make you more or less of a man than the next guy. So that basically, then that goes into it too. Guys start to get caught up in their rank, or caught up in how long they've been in. Just teach the word, man. Teach the sound doctrine, and be charitable, be humble. Pray and fast.
Right.
That literally don't overcomplicate this thing, because all you're gonna end up doing is you're gonna start to get demons on you, which you already do if you're starting to overcomplicate things. And well, that brother ain't as high as me in the rank, so I don't need to listen to him. That's a demon right there. And before you know it, you're gonna be out the truth. And then you ain't got no rank. You got a missile coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that you walk, because Yahushua even said he didn't come to be ministered onto, he came to minister. He washed his disciples' feet, even Judas Iscariot. So it's all about it's about your mindset, man. Make sure that you're focused on the things that you need to be focused on.
Mm-hmm.
I got this Matthew 5:5. It's also in red. It says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." I'll go ahead and get this word from meek. G4239. It says, "Prause," and it says, "Mildness of disposition, gentleness of spirit, meekness." Meekness toward God is that disposition of spirit in which we accept his dealings with us as good, and therefore without disputing or resisting. In the Old Testament, the meek are those those wholly relying on God rather than their own strength to defend against injustice, which the Lord said he's nigh unto those that have a broken and a contrite spirit. It's all about being meek. It's all about being disciplined. Moses was the leader of Israel during the time of the Exodus, and it was known that he was the most meek man on the earth. That's who the
Mm.
Lord is dealing with, man. We were reading the scriptures yesterday in the lesson we were doing. I believe there's a couple on it talking about, basically you definitely gotta play your role, and you gotta, be open to rebuking different things like that, because the Lord has a certain purpose for you. He's got to mold you a certain way. So if you're not willing to be molded, you're just going to be stiff necked and hard headed. You're not going to serve your purpose, and you're gonna be cast out.
Right.
If the Lord has you as the eighth, and you're over this and that or whatever, that's what the Lord wants you to be over. So if you don't want to perform those duties, and you're trying to overstep or whatever, then what are you here for? Somebody's
Right.
got to play that, and the Lord chose you to do it, so do it. It's that simple, man. It ain't. Don't get caught up in all that extracurricular ass shit. And then
I
on
got.
top of that, with the rank thing too, the only thing you should be trying, because of course we always try to grow in the spirit, but you shouldn't be looking to grow in the rank, because you got to think, how would that happen? That would mean that somebody fell out or got demoted, which you shouldn't be pushing for that to happen. You should be hoping and praying and supporting one another that we all make it. But what
Right.
you can do is, as you continue to grow in the spirit, you get tacked on with more responsibilities. That's what you can look forward to. You'll have you might be given a certain office as you continue to grow within your camp, but don't worry about the actual rank itself. Just be in order.
Right. Because if you because that's just like the rank, and if you the fifth brother, or you the the sixth, seventh, eighth brother, fifth brother, first brother, and you still make it onto the chariot, you still good. It don't matter about the rank, man. As long as the goal is to make it on the chariot, and it shouldn't matter what your rank is in a camp, because at the end of the day, you could be part of the 144,000. And that's what we should be striving for, the 1/3, being on the chariot ultimately. But I have some more definitions for that, for meek. I looked it up on Google, It says patient, long suffering, gentle. Um, and also one that says tame, and you get that word tame. It says willing to cooperate, obedient. Um, so yeah, obedient, man. We got you're not going. Some unruly Jake isn't going to get on the chariot the way that he's acting, man. Lest the Lord put that spirit on him to turn from his ways, man. But when we're in this truth, we got to be patient. We got to be meek, long suffering, compliant. When we get rebuked, not going off the wall. Oh, nah, brother, I don't like the way you talk to me like that. That wasn't right. I just accept it, man. Was it Lord says suffer if I forget how it goes. I'll look it up in a minute. But it goes, roughly paraphrasing about even if you're not wrong, suffer for it.
Yeah, wrongfully.
Yeah, suffering wrongfully. I'll get it, y'all. But I have this Luke 14 in verse 7, and he put forth a parable to those which were bidden, when he marked how they chose out the chief rooms, saying unto them, when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him. And he that bade thee and him, and he that bade thee and him come and say to thee, give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room. So, when you come into this truth, man, you shouldn't be searching out to be the top guy automatically. You just searching, well, not even automatically. You just searching out to be the top guy. What can I do to be at the top? What can I do to be the leader? What can I do to be in the highest position possible, the highest room? That shouldn't be it, man. You go to the lowest room and you let the Most High exalt you. Let the Most High bring you up. It says, verse 10, and what it says, and then you go to that highest room. And then a more honorable man comes, and then they say, hey, man, this room is for him. You're going to have to get up. You're going to have to get up and get out of this room. This ain't your room. You're going to have to go to the lowest room. This says, but when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher. Then shalt thou have worship in the presence of them that sit at the meat with thee. So that's what we should, be humble. Being lowly, and let the Most High, bring us up. Hey, brother, friend, why are you here? Go up higher. This room isn't for you. Go up higher. That's how our mindset should be. That's what Yahweh was saying when the people that was with him, they were choosing out the chief rooms. It says, verse 11, for whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. And that's what these people, man, these Jakes, these wicked Jakes are doing, man, because you're going to have wicked Israelites in the truth, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to exalt themselves. They're trying to get the most views. They're trying to get the most eyes looking at them. But it's not about that. It's about fulfilling the will of the Heavenly Father. And even if that means getting one view, getting 0 views, nobody seeing you, so on and so forth, the Lord sees you, man. The Lord sees your works. The Lord sees you doing great. The Lord sees you doing the best that you can, man. Even if nobody else notices, man. The Lord sees it. You got it. It's like it.
No. What for bringing that up? This is Sirach 7 and 4, and it says, seek not of the Lord preeminence, neither of the king the seat of honor. Get that one, preeminence. It says, the fact of surpassing all others superiority. Extremely distinguished. Yeah, that is definitely one too.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to be seen. That goes into vainglory. You're trying to be seen by men. what you need to understand is, now, of course, one thing you should definitely strive for within the brotherhood is having a good report. You want to have a good report. You want to be loved by the brothers. You want brothers to be able to put in a good word for you and commend you. Not that you're looking for commending, but you want behind closed doors. They talking to somebody else like, yeah, this is a good brother. I can trust him. You want that. You want to have a good report. All right, but what you don't need to be seeking is superiority to be just this. You this one guy out of the camp, and you just that mighty prophet that brings out all that you prophesy. You talking about 80,000 visions that you received the past week. It's not about none of that, bro.
Right.
Every brother has their portion of the spirit. Every brother has their their background and their past lives as well. Because that's one thing too that some guys get caught up in, especially with this King David thing, trying to figure out who they are in reincarnation. Who the fuck cares? Who are you right now? Because you very well could have been such and such, not King David. We know that's already taken, but you could have been, this disciple or that or whatever. But who cares? Because even if you want to play it like that, what were you doing last life? The truth wasn't on the earth last time you were here. You were a nigga last time.
Right.
But I know a while ago, Apostle Tahari made that when he was talking about Apostle Paul, and he said he's back today, and you gotta whoever he is, he knows he's got to push even harder. The fight ain't over. It ain't about none of that, bro. Like seriously, people really just overcomplicate it. Focus on who you are right now, what your job is right now. Love one another, respect one another. Don't be one of them dudes that be giving out all these, types of advice to other people, but then you're not doing nothing. You're not doing anything you're saying. That's a double-minded man.
Mm-hmm.
And humility is more than words. It's actions. And it's more too than just holding the door or whatever. That humility is just the way you carry yourself in your day-to-day life. You're not being self-willed. You're understanding that it's about where the Lord wants you to move. It's about what the camp is about to do. Sometimes you're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to take L's because you're not following after your own will, and that's how it is. But that's part of being humble. All right, this is not our paradise. It's not our rest. So don't expect to seek any. You're going to be uncomfortable more often than not.
Mm-hmm. Got a precept.
Yeah.
1 Peter 5:6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. That's exactly what we got to do, man. Humble. We got to remain humble and not a demon, creep up. And if it does creep up, man, rebuke it. Don't let it just fester and marinate within your body, man. Rebuke that demon, man. Because there may be times when that pride demon may creep up, and not just the pride demon. There's other demons that may creep up, man. Rebuke it, man. And if it seems like it's not going away, go on a fast. Go on a fast, because we got to remain humble, man. We cannot be in this truth, thinking that we're higher than what we really are. Because just like we read, if we believe that we're higher than, if we believe we the highest man, Most High is gonna say, nah, man, you ain't it. You ain't the high, and then kick you out, man, or knock your ass down. We got to remain humble and let the Most High bring us up, man. Like it says, that he may exalt you in due time. Remain humble because the Lord cares for us. The Lord cares for his elect. The Lord cares for his men, his prophets. And we got to remain humble and remember what our goal is, what we really searching for, what we really looking for, and what we really want at the end, man. Because there's been many men who knew the prophecies, who knew the breakdowns, but then the Most High said, I don't want them. That's not the guy, man. And cast them off. So it don't matter how high you are or how low you are, man. It matters if you doing the will of the Heavenly Father, are you doing what the Lord requires of you? And if you're not, the Lord is going to boot you, man.
I got this Romans 12:3. Did you read this? I think you started at 4 or 5.
Yeah, I got verse 6, 7, and 8, I believe, or something like that.
You didn't read 3?
Mm.
Okay. Romans 12:3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think.
Damn.
The thing in that is Luke 17:10. So I'm gonna grab that. And also that Isaiah tells you our righteousness is like filthy rags, a menstrual cloth.
Mm-hmm.
So, and understanding that no matter what we do on this side, we'll never be perfect. That in itself should keep you humble. You're not going to get saved or get relieved from these chains of darkness through your own, ability and will. It's through Yahweh Shema Shai in His time. Hell, not even in Yahweh Shai's time. It's in the Most High's time, because only He knows the day.
Right.
Luke 17:10 says, "So likewise ye." This is also in red. A lot of these come from Yahweh Shai. How is the second over everything? All creation is more humble than some of you niggas, man.
Right. Yeah.
Luke 17:10. So likewise ye, when ye shall have done all those things which are commanded you, so presenting your body as a living sacrifice, going on the highways and byways, keeping the laws, being a brother, these are all commanded of you. These are basic things that you need to be doing. Say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do. So we're not even technically going to receive the kingdom. Lord Yahweh is our of the elect, but we're not even going to receive the kingdom because you did 5 videos a week, because you went out to camp for 2 years. No, you're going to receive the kingdom because Yahweh Shai died for you and then prayed for you. And because ultimately you were chosen from the beginning. You're saved by faith and works, but this is not like, oh man, you did X amount of videos, so now you get 10 women in the kingdom of heaven. No, it's not like it. We only receive the kingdom of heaven through the mercy of the Lord. Us doing what we're supposed to be doing now, you shouldn't receive no reward for that. Realistically, Jake be doing, Jake does a video 23 minutes, and then he's hoping he gets 500 views on it. He gets 1. Now he's mad.
Right.
Nobody watched it. Nobody's patting him on the back. Damn, that was a good precept. You shouldn't be looking for stuff like that.
Right.
Don't be looking for that type of bullshit, man. This is a basic thing that you're supposed to be doing. You're going out the highways and byways when it's 19 degrees. Guess what? You're supposed to be doing it. You even when you're in the guillotine and you stay loyal to Yahweh Shemel Shine to death. You're supposed to do that. These are all things that we're supposed to do. You don't get rewarded for breathing. You just live another day. But through the mercy of the Lord, we're going to receive the kingdom of heaven, and we're going to receive reward for our works.
Right. Because anything, everything we do, man, is not enough.
Right.
It's not enough. If you could do 10 videos a week, you could go out to camp for 5, 6, 7 hours, but even at the end of the day, it's still not enough. Compared to the wickedness that we've done in our past life, and up until we come into this truth, and even we sin even while we're in the truth, because we can't keep the law perfectly. But anything that we do, man, is not enough for the Lord. We're doing our best to please the Lord, so that Yahweh we can find favor in the sight of the Lord, so that He can save us. It's not about being the top dog, man. And if the Lord gives you that position, then let the Lord put you in that position, man. Let the Lord do it. Don't do it yourself, because that's not the right mindset that we should be in. Jake do, like you said, Jake looking for 500 views, and then he get 3 views. One's a bug out, or one's a scoffer talking shit.
The other one's him.
He got 1 view, and then who knows who the third view is? But you got one scoffer, and then the one, and then Jake let that shit fester up inside of him, man. Jake let that shit fester up and be like, you know what? That ain't right, man. That ain't right, man. I should have more views. And then there you are, you letting that shit just roll inside your mind, and then you bugged out on your own. You bugged out, talking shit. You got it.
This Sirach 3:18. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. So like the brother said, you catch yourself in that position of being the camp head, you're supposed to be the most humble one in the group.
Right.
I mean, well, now you don't compare. You're not being humble if you're. Well, I'm more humble than that, brother. Then you're really not humble. You're just acting, bro. But realistically, the camp head is supposed to be. You're supposed to set the example. You're supposed to be one of the most humble guys there is. And when you are in this truth and you start to, you might visit other camps and stuff like that, and you might get to visit and meet an elder. You realize just how humble they really are. They're the most meekest men on the planet. The more experience you gain in this truth, the more humble you get, because you've been catching hell, Lord. So the Lord took all that pride, that worldly pride out of you, because he beat you down. But then you just been around other men, and you began to walk more and more in the spirit of Yahweh Shai.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really the point. Like if you got more, we can definitely bring out a couple more. I'm saying I got a few, but I'm just gonna close these because Spirit moved to a different topic than title, really.
I think.
Well, not really.
I wish I could have found that precept I was thinking about. I don't even know how it goes. I have to yell it out. Huh?
Oh wait, I know what it is. I think I know what it is. I'm gonna read it and you let me know if this is it. 1 Timothy 3:6. Not a novice, least being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil.
I believe that was it.
Because an upstart is somebody new that rises to position. A novice, it says G3504, Neoph Utos, and it says newly planted, a new convert, one who has recently became a Christian. Which is the scriptures, warn us that knowledge puffs up. So as you start to get certain breakdowns and things like that, well, yeah, you're gonna definitely have demons that come with that. Like the brother said, you got to rebuke them. You got to rebuke them and continue to grow.
Right. I believe. Yeah, I think that was it. Because what it say? It said, being not a novice, less being lifted up with pride, falling into condemnation. I believe that was it. Because you could get Lord could have it to where you just get out of nowhere, you just rise up in the ranks, real quickly, man. But then you get lifted at the same time, you get lifted up with that pride, man. And then what? And then you start falling into temptations, and you get that pride demon. Oh yeah, I got 600 views, man. I'm that top guy. And then there you are, bugged out.
But that actually reading this chapter, it's talking about overseers and deacons, and it's saying that's why you don't want to make somebody that's new in a position like that, because he's going to be lifted up with pride.
Mm-hmm.
Which even without the office or the rank, you just coming into this truth, you're given the greatest gift of all time. I mean, knowing the names of the Lord and the mark of the beast is the sea hip, and just certain small basic things that we consider milk. Majority of the planet Earth doesn't know any of these things. So that already puts you in the like how Esau always says, the 1%. You're automatically part of the 1% now. As soon as you know the basic things, that in itself can make somebody prideful, man.
Yeah.
Which we hate these people because they're wicked, but you don't go around acting like a fucking piece of shit. No, you don't. Like, come on. I mean, Jake still should have a heart out there, still have manners, still say please and thank you, hold the door for old people, still be respectable, man. Be found blameless. Don't be a fucking asshole out there. But of course, in our minds, naturally and righteously, we know, yeah, we're above these people because we're serving the Lord. But you don't carry yourself with a negative pride.
Right.
Because don't get that confused too, because there is good pride. Because if my son hits a home run and I say I'm proud of my son, I'm not going off. It's just, it just depends how you use it. But we're talking about a negative pride, a self-willed, arrogant. It's all about you, you
Right.
know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got one more. This is James 4 and 10. Really, the same thing, same precept, but just worded differently. James 4 and 10. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and He shall lift you up. Remain focused on what our goal truly is. Remaining humble. When I first came to this truth, man, I wasn't thinking about my first. How can I receive salvation? What do I got to do? It wasn't what it wasn't. I'm trying to be the top dog. I'm watching Sakari. How can I join their camp, and then how can I be next to Deacon? Bringing precepts out when it was salvation, being redeemed, and being saved from the times to come, and remaining humble. And you got to continue to remain humble, and the Lord is going to lift us up. The Lord is going to exalt us in due time, according to His time. It could be that the Lord doesn't exalt you unto the chariot. He keep you in that lowly position and then exalt you in the chariot. But it's all according to the will of the Heavenly Father. Now He has the movie and your lot planned out and set. That's all I had.
All right. Well, Lord willing that this lesson was edifying, and exhorting to the elect. Before we close, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors go out to our apostles, elders, great millstone, who rule and teach well. Shalom, well, Barakim to you, brothers and sisters out there. Shalom.
Shalom.